Happy Friday, and thank you for spending the whole week with us here on the Rocketeer Minute, where each and every day, Monday through Friday, we go over 1 minute of the greatest adventure movie Walt Disney ever made, the 1991 Joe Johnston-directed film, The Rocketeer. I'm one of your hosts, Jim O'Kane of TVDads.com.
And I'm Hal Bryan, an airplane nerd from the Experimental Aircraft Association here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Now, we are really, really excited to welcome back an amazing guest. She had so much fun with us the first time that she was willing to come back and do it again. So let's welcome back the multi-talented actor, producer, director, singer, Melora Hardin. Melora, welcome back.
Thank you. Hi.
It's very exciting. We started with Begin the Begin, and now we've ended the Begin, and we're on to a whole new song.
The Begin never ends.
Yeah.
Okay, it never ends. It plays on in my heart.
Keeps going. Yes, it's on repeat. But we're gonna start talking about a different song, When Your Lover Has Gone, which is by Einar Swan from 1931. And is this a harder song to sing than Begin the Begin?
Oh no. Begin the Begin is a much harder song to sing. Begin the Begin is a very rangy song. It goes quite high and it goes quite low, and it also, not only that, but just melodically, it's very singable, but you really do have to sing it quite a few times before you can really sing it.
I'm so glad you've never heard me in my car. I'm just going to put that out there right now. Because you and I have duetted on this song more than once. But
have we really?
We have.
I would love to hear that. I bet that was pretty good. You're like doing your own version of carpool karaoke over there.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. I like it a lot.
I love this picture you have of me, this one-dimensional guy just driving up and down the road all day, every day with the song on repeat. It's not quite that bad.
But it's close.
But your songs on this soundtrack have been a part of my life. You know that.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Last time.
Great.
Wow. Well, one thing we didn't talk about the last time is, how did you wind up in the South Seas Club? How did this all come about when you were just on a street corner and Joe drove by and said, "That one, I need her"?
Yeah, kind of. Not really. I'd been working as an actress consistently since I was 6 years old, and I've been singing all my life. I started writing songs when I was a baby. My mom said I wrote my first song when I was 2, and I sang all the time and, learned how to imitate Barbra Streisand and Judy Garland when I was very young, and was just sort of obsessed with singing and, getting I don't know, just singing all the time. And my brother was at USC Film School and became very good friends with another person who was at USC Film School named Joe Johnston. And they became very, very good friends. And so Joe was around all the time. And one of the things that I tend to do at my parents' Christmas Eve party, which is quite an affair that's been going on for over 35 years, is I always sing at their Christmas Eve parties. And so I would get up and sing some a cappella song. And Joe came to quite a few of those parties, just fell in love with my voice, and I think liked me a lot too, and just said to me, "I want you to sing. I want you to sing in this movie that I'm doing. Will you come and do it?" And I said, "Are you kidding? Of course." So that was really how that came down. And then I think he really wanted me to, he wanted me to be a singer. He wanted me to stop being an actor and be a singer because he just loved my voice so much. It was really sweet. So yeah, it was really fun. And actually for my Christmas present, he cut together a top to bottom entire version of the song, Begin the Begin. So, you only get a portion of it in the movie, but I have the entire song from top to bottom that he did a little cut for me as a Christmas present. So it was very sweet.
How cool is that?
Oh, stunning! Yeah, and
there's a deleted scene for you.
Yeah.
I know. I can't really ever do anything with it because it's it's just really for me.
Oh,
but it's beautiful.
Your own special edition. That's great. No, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah.
So you've actually you were auditioning for the part for many years apparently. So it was quite a thing if he heard you so many times. Was it? We had talked previously in the previous episode about how you had done the recording session beforehand. So when you knew that you got the part, did you have? I guess there was quite a prep time in between when you got the role and getting in there. Was there a lot of practice sessions besides meeting with the full orchestra, or It was just walk
That's
in
funny.
and do it.
I didn't really do a lot of practice sessions. You know, Joe and James Horner chose the songs and sent them to me, and I remember having either it was a cassette tape. I don't remember. In 1991, what did we have? Did we have cassette tapes? Did we have CDs?
We had
I think we had
CDs
cassettes.
a bit, but probably
I think we had
cassettes.
cassette tapes, and so I think they sent me a cassette tape, which I remember driving around in LA listening to and learning the song just by listening to it and learning it. And then I remember going one time to Billy May's house where he had a little back music room, and he played it on piano and I sang it. And we worked on both the songs a few times and kind of just sort of did a little tweaking here or there. And then that was it. Then I walked into the soundstage, into the recording studio, and we recorded the version. They were recording the orchestra at that time. And then I did my vocals after the orchestra was finished.
Wow.
And about how long after that were you actually on the set then shooting this stuff?
Gosh, it was probably not that long, maybe a month, maybe 6 weeks.
Really?
Not that long, yeah. But then I had my vocal and the track and everything to practice with, so that I could really be perfect with my lip syncing, you know.
When you finally saw it on screen, I mean, it's unfortunate for us, for fans of Melora. You only get about 4 bars, and then they cut away to the. It's like, and over here, you're kind of like the lead-in. But
right.
I mean, we had talked previously about other, getting cut out of scenes and stuff. So I would think that, oh dear, that's it.
Well, I knew that's what it was going to be because I'd read the script and knew what she was there for. I knew that Joe was gonna make it beautiful and worthwhile, which he did. It was really quite a beautiful cameo moment. That was really special, and I really couldn't have expected or hoped for more. I knew exactly what it was going to be going into it. Just was so incredibly excited that both the songs ended up on the soundtrack. That was like a real high moment for me.
Yeah, they're really lush arrangements in there, and as Hal has described previously, they're easy to re-listen to many times.
Absolutely.
Yes, they are. They're so beautiful. Well, Billy May was a big arranger in the 40s, and he really just did an incredible job with those songs. Boy, I wish he was still around. I'd go to him and make a whole record with him if he was still around.
That's just incredible to think that he was doing that nearly 50 years on, still arranging and working on these things. I've got the minute up, the clip in front of me here, and starting about sort of second 9, 10, 11. You're in the background. Timothy Dalton, Jennifer Connelly right in the foreground, but Melora, we see you in the background stepping down the discs again. And you're talking about the choreography the last time you were with us, and it's amazing. It's simple. The timing just works perfectly. You've got a stagehand walking up to place the mic just as you're arriving, and you're arriving just in time to sing, and keeping all of that in sync while you've got acting happening in the foreground. It's really pretty mind-blowing.
Right. Well, I think that's got Joe Johnston's touch on it in the sense that he knew exactly what he wanted in the frame, and I think probably having me being a very seasoned actor at that point and knowing and understanding the idea of like arriving at my mark at a certain point and being musical and being a dancer and being able to understand when I need to be there. And it was sort of a wonderful kind of collaborative moment of everybody bringing themselves to that to make it all happen in the magic way that movies happen. When movies are good, it's always because so many people did their jobs right. I mean, it just doesn't happen any other way, and it's that in that regard, it's the greatest team sport around.
Oh yeah,
it's
great.
I have to ask about your partner on stage, Bob Salmon, who plays the I guess the Benny Goodman character with the clarinet. Did you have any interaction with him at all, or?
I mean, yeah, we chatted, a little bit. I think because I was already previously friends with Joe Johnston, and I think I spent more time chatting with Joe and Jennifer Connelly because Jennifer and I were roughly the same age. We're about the same age. And I think we kind of just enjoyed like the camaraderie of two girls roughly the same age, Joe and chatting. So I didn't spend that. I think she was relieved that there was like another girl around. She had to deal with all these men and boys all the time.
Sure.
It was just like, I think for her, I mean, I'm speaking for her, but I mean, I kind of got that feeling that she was like relieved to just have a minute of playtime with a girl.
Yeah.
So I was mostly hanging out with Joe, I think, and the crew.
Yeah, I know Jennifer was having a difficulty during your scene because she was fighting a sty on her right eye at the time, and they were.
Oh, that's right.
So they were applying a lot of makeup on top of that right eye, and every scene that you look in here with this is just. You can tell it's like she's hoping that please don't focus, so don't do so many close-ups.
That's funny. I do remember that.
Yeah, and it's been a tough time for her.
Something I was always curious about was, back to Bob Sandman for just a minute. He doesn't have a particularly large online resume that I was able to find after at least sort of a quick look. Do we know, does he really play the clarinet? Obviously, we're all miming in these scenes, but was he really a clarinetist, or is he just fairly convincing at it?
It's a good question. I got the feeling that the guys that were playing in the band on the film set were all musicians of like a little bit. Maybe they certainly weren't the studio musicians that actually played the parts, but I did get the feeling that they kind of knew their way around a little bit. I think I got the feeling that he knew his way around a clarinet a little, but I don't know that he really was a clarinetist.
Interesting.
Yeah, that earlier minute when he was holding the clarinet, my wife is a clarinetist, and I think that she was saying that he's holding the fingering like a clarinet. Of course, he might have been playing, in a marching band in high school, but he did at least know the minimum of how to hold a clarinet.
That's good. Yeah, I got that feeling. But again, I could be just crazy, and maybe he asked his best friend how to hold the clarinet. I don't know.
When the premiere took place, did you go to the premiere, which I think was at the El Capitan?
I don't remember that I did that. I think I would remember that if I did. I don't think I did. I remember going to the wrap party, which was in the South Seas Club on the Disney lot.
Wow.
And that was fun.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that was really fun. I know. That was great.
And that would have been after the post-destruction, wouldn't it? Or that would be after they filmed it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Right, but it was. I think maybe they did the destruction first before they did all the good stuff. They may have done that, which I can't really remember, but they may have done the destruction first in order to just have it be a mess, and then they built it, I think. Because it was still intact. It was gorgeous. It looked amazing. I don't remember going to it, so I think I must have been working, is my thought, that I was probably, working on something else and couldn't make it, or was on location somewhere doing something.
But it was a good wrap party?
The wrap party was fun, very fun, yes.
Oh, that's great. Wow.
It's hard to picture, though. It's, for me, the set and everything, I can't picture anybody walking in there without, sort of black tie and tails, and everybody sort of being in character and
right,
and behaving as if it's 1938. And I'm sure a wrap party probably doesn't go exactly like that. So that's that gives me some things to really mull over for a while here.
Yes, exactly.
People swinging from
some
chandeliers.
Stuff to daydream on.
Yeah,
yes,
crushing Hal's dreams of.
Oh, no, just adding more depth and gravitas to my dreams. Yeah, that's what it's all about, right?
Right.
This.
When you look up, there is the big, the
lights
big
and the
ceiling of the, exactly. So everything that's in frame is all perfect, but the things out of frame are just a soundstage.
Yeah.
Next, she's going to tell me that Cliff Secord didn't actually fly with the rocket. This is funny.
Careful, poor Hal.
Let's not talk about Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's not. I agree with that. Hang on to that dream forever.
Well, I've got it.
When you were with the cast, was the general feeling that this was going to be like the next Indiana Jones, that there were going to be sequels to this, and you would possibly show up at the South Seas again, that there were going to be follow-ons to it? Was there any discussion about that, or?
I don't know about that. I mean, I think everyone thought, the thing is that these everybody in the movie were actors that had been working for a long time, and you never know. I do think that Billy Campbell was thinking this was going to be his star moment. It certainly looked like that because, he was playing the Rocketeer after all.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So I think there was, I definitely think I got the vibe of that there was sort of this feeling that it was going to be a big, huge blockbuster hit. And I think that Disney was certainly putting that kind of energy, money, and attention into it. But it really wasn't. I don't think it was quite the blockbuster that everybody kind of thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no, it kind of got smashed by, the Terminator 2 came out the following week, so that kind of like destroyed the rest of the summer for it. And it was on
that's interesting.
It was on the heels of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, so you're up against both Schwarzenegger and Kevin Costner. So it's like Billy Campbell's a great actor, though.
Wow.
I have to say, he was a great actor, but just it was a bad summer to be coming out with a brand new franchise.
Right. Yeah, I thought everybody in the movie was fantastic. It was a really cute, really adorable and heartwarming and fun, movie. There's no doubt about that.
Do you rewatch it on occasion at all, or I don't know how many times you look back at your old works or things?
I mean, not really, because everything's moving forward all the time. But you know what? When this came up, I did think I got to pull that out and show that to my girls because my daughters haven't seen it, and it's such a great movie. They're 15 and 12, and it's like the perfect time for them to see the movie. I think they'll love it.
Sure, and it's funny. You're working on a current project with Freeform TV about a strong female character. And in this movie, there are strong female characters. I mean, the focus is on the Rocketeer, but I think you can call Jenny Blake is anything but a helpless character. She manages. I don't want to spoil it because it's in a future minute, but she does one up an evil Nazi Hollywood star spy. So
your typical garden variety evil Nazi Hollywood star spy. Yeah, sure.
But
she's that old trope.
She's a victim that refuses to be a victim, and I find it. My daughter, I know, my kids grew up watching this movie, and they still rewatch it. So it's it's a fun romp, but it's also it's a great feeling. You feel very uplifted by the end of this film that it's very accomplishing movie.
It's true.
And you provided the soundtrack, so it's
I know, it's so cool. So cool. Yeah.
Being a part of it.
Joe makes very whimsical movies. I really like that about the films he makes.
Oh sure, yeah. I mean, like October Sky and even Captain America and stuff.
That.
He really knows the past and being able to even though it's in the past, you can relate to the people that are in it. So they're always fun movies you can sit and enjoy.
They are. Yeah.
It always brings such a warmth to it.
Yeah, it's true.
If I can just hop back, actually, this was something I had meant to ask about in the last episode. Just put it out there very quickly. Did you see the movie 42, the Jackie Robinson film?
No.
Do you know that your song is in it? Because I flew out of my chair when we were watching it and it popped up on the soundtrack. Here's your version of Begin the Begin.
Really?
And you're credited. You're credited in it.
What? Well,
Seriously.
They should probably be paying me some money then.
I think you got to get on the phone to ASCAP and find out what's going on.
So,
oh my God, that's crazy.
Have a look on IMDb and tell me I'm crazy. Well, don't, but because we've established that. But it was it's right there. It's listed right on the soundtrack, performed by Melora Hardin. So
wow, I think that's interesting. Was this a TV? This was an actual feature documentary?
This was a proper feature.
Film, yeah.
I'm trying to think who was in it. I can check here momentarily.
And it was called 42.
42. And it was a pretty major release actually.
Really?
Maybe 2014, 2015, maybe even more recent than that. The older I get,
was it a Disney film? I don't know if that was a Disney film. Hal, I don't know who has the. I know there's things like mechanical rights and things like that. I don't know who publishes. Wow.
Yeah, but still, you still get performance.
Yeah, you should. There should be a little paper check with numbers on it coming in your mail.
Exactly.
A little something. Yeah,
it was 2013 when it came out, and so. Chadwick Boseman played Jackie Robinson. I think he was a newcomer, but
okay, who is the studio?
Young man named Harrison Ford was in it.
Oh my God!
Ryan Helgeland directed it. Sorry, I'm not seeing where it's showing me the studio here. Anyway, take a look.
Okay.
I remember when it happened when I saw the film, and then I'd forgotten about it, and then as I was sort of digging around, getting ready for recording with you, then it popped up again. I said, oh my gosh, that's right.
Wow.
Well, we've uncovered a scandal.
Thank you for letting me know. Yeah. I'll look it up. Yeah, exactly. My husband used to be a lawyer, so I'll have him get on that right away.
Perfect.
He used to be an entertainment lawyer specifically for musicians,
awesome.
like Crosby, Stills and Nash, and like all that.
Oh, seriously?
So
wow.
Funny. Yeah, really. Yeah. So
that's
so
amazing.
He kind of knows. He knows a thing or two about this.
I would be remiss, and apologies in advance, but our good friend Scott Corelli at the Back to the Future Minute would want to ask this question, and he would wonder, and again, I apologize, but when did you find out that you weren't going to be in Back to the Future? How was that presented to you after you had been in Back to the Future?
I'd already been cast and I'd already done some publicity shots for it and been over onto the Universal lot and had my wardrobe fittings and stuff like that. And Eric Stoltz was playing McFly, and he got fired 2 weeks into filming. And when they hired Michael J. Fox, I got a phone call at home from Bob Gale and Bob Zemeckis telling me that they were very sad to tell me this, but that I was too tall for Michael J. Fox. And that they had to cast someone that was more his height. I burst into tears, and actually there is a book coming out right now soon, I think, or maybe it's out already, I don't know, called The Making of Back to the Future or something like that. The author of that book said, did you know, told me, did I know, that it actually was the female executives that made that call because they decided that they thought that it emasculated their lead character to have a girlfriend that was taller than he was. And both Bob Zemeckis and Bob Gale said, no, they disagreed and thought it was completely fine that I was taller than him, and the women executives nixed it.
Wow.
So I felt like, wow, we've come a long way, because I can't really see female executives doing that right now in 2017. But back then, that was, you could see that would be the common, kind of way of being in the world. And I think women that were in that position were very much kind of more masculine, and so I thought that was an interesting little tidbit.
As an admirer of tall women, I can tell you that my often dream was to date a tall woman. And I have married a tall woman. She's not taller than me, but oh, that's tragic.
Oh, that's nice. That's so nice. I mean, it's tall women are great, and I'll tell you, my daughter, my 15-year-old is 5'11", and her legs go past my legs, and she's very tall and keeps getting scouted for modeling agencies and stuff, and she carries it really, really well. And I feel like it's all in how you feel about it. I didn't know that, but I was never uncomfortable. I'm not like a super tall woman. I'm 5'8". I'm not like super duper tall. So my daughter's already towering over me, and she doesn't seem to have a problem with it. I think that is a sign of the times.
Just tell her shoulders back, chin up. That's what my mom used to tell.
That's the way.
All of my nieces and things. You have to be that way. Wow.
That's right.
Well, good. Well, let's see a positive note from all of that tragedy.
Yes. Yes.
Well, this has been an illuminating and exciting time having you on the show. And I would strongly recommend everybody to check out your new series on Freeform TV. If you give the name and who else is in it?
Yeah, The Bold Type. I'm not sure you would necessarily know. Maybe you would. I mean, Katie Stevens, Sam Page, Megan Fahey, and Aisha D. So those are the leading characters, and Matt Ward. Those are the leads, and me.
Yay! Yeah, of course. Well, you're the feature player. There you are.
Right.
So there's but it's really charming. It's got a little Sex in the City, a little. So if you're into fashion and you also are interested in kind of the new women's lib, which is interesting to really tackle some of these big issues that are facing 50% of our society, which are women. So I'm excited to be doing that in the within the environment of glamour and fashion, and I think it's kind of a nice a little bit ironic and kind of a nice dichotomy to have the two at play.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to check it out.
Great.
And I hope everybody else check. Now you have a great big website, right? Melora.com, that people can visit you at and see.
Yeah.
All of your adventures?
But I need to read. My website is not that great, really. I need to get somebody on that.
Okay.
It's like my website is not that great, but people can follow me on Instagram at Melora D Hardin, D as in my middle name's Diane, so at Melora D Hardin on Instagram, and on Twitter it's at Melora Hardin. So those are two places that people can can follow me, and I do actually interact sometimes with fans there. I'm maybe a little more of an Instagrammer than a tweeter, whatever that's called. But I try to do both, and then I'm learning presently how to be on Snapchat, which I'm finding a little challenging at the moment, but I'm going to get there. Folks. And,
it is extremely complicated.
And it's just Melora Hardin on Snapchat. So
cool. Well, all of our social media friends can look for Melora there. If you'd like to talk with us and continue this conversation as we see the still intact South Seas Club here, you can join us on Twitter. We're at Rocketeer Minute, and also at Facebook at the Rocketeers Bulldog Cafe, where everybody gets together and talks about all these episodes. You can join us at the great big website, which most people are not going to websites anymore, but you can join us still there at rocketeerminute.com, where you can catch up on old episodes. There's some cool swag from Amazon where you can actually get a copy of this movie. And since we're 65 minutes into this film, you really need to catch up and watch the movie if you haven't seen it yet. And why are you listening to a podcast if you haven't seen the movie? But who knows? Everyone is welcome. So pick up a copy there.
Maybe they just wanted to hear my voice.
That's probably it.
That's
yeah,
what it
it's
is.
Like Melora's on the show. I don't know what the movie is, but we'll listen to this. Wow.
I thought it might have been my voice, but I think you're right. Melora, I think
could be yours. I think if you sang your version of Begin the Begin, Hal, then you might draw in some more listeners.
I think the internet would actually implode.
Hal Bryan's karaoke available soon at an Amazon station near you.
Oh my gosh!
The
fact does not need that.
As far as I know, there was never a South Sea Singer action figure for the Rocketeer. I would have bought one. I would have gotten the whole set.
I know there wasn't, but there were other ones, and there was also they almost at one point were going to make the. Do you remember they did one shot of the dog restaurant?
Yes, the Bulldog,
yes, the Bulldog Cafe, yes.
The Bulldog Cafe. Well, they were thinking. Merchandising at one point was thinking of making that Bulldog Cafe into a cookie jar, and they made a couple prototypes, which I got one of the prototypes, which I still have and use as my cookie jar at home, and but they were never available. But it is the cutest cookie jar you've ever seen. It's just like a little mini Bulldog Cafe cookie jar, but it's quite large. It's like the size of your computer.
I think I hear a Snapchat topic that you could
I was gonna say.
enter right there. That's
Really?
Yeah.
Jim, remember that part a minute ago where Melora said she was going to send us a picture of this cookie jar?
Yeah,
you remember that, right? I swear I heard that. We would love.
Well, I'm not at home, but I can get my husband to take a picture of it and send it to you, and then I'll send it to you. You send it to me, and I'll send it to you.
Awesome. Yes. Tell him it's important.
And we'll be able to hear him rolling his eyes as he does it. But that's okay.
Focus on the cookie jar.
I'm a grown man. I'm used to it by now.
Wow. But yes, we will post that online, and it'll be on our Twitter feed and everything. But thank you. Wow. Oh my gosh. And lock your doors because Hal now knows that there is a prototype.
Yes, exactly.
He does have a helmet. I just want to let you know.
Rocketeer merchandise I don't own. Stand back.
Hi, this is Jim here. If you're hearing my voice, you're listening to our podcast on YouTube, which gets very upset if we play Melora Hardin's music on a Melora Hardin interview. So we are going to have to remove it from this particular release of this podcast. If you really want to hear it, go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Google Play, because that's where we can play Melora Hardin's beautiful rendition of Who Cares for Starlit Skies. Anyway, thank you for joining us here, and we will see you next time on the YouTube version of the Rocketeer Minute. Until then, over and out.